Nashville in the Music City ahead of our Leagues Cup match against Nashville SC. And I'm joined by none other than the legend, recent Gallery of Honor inductee, Drew Moor. Drew, how are you? How excited are you for this tournament? Because honestly, I'm super excited. I think the passion that's going to come from both leagues, the intensity that's going to come from both leagues is setting up for a really, really fun tournament.
I am absolutely buzzing. We've got Ed Sheeran singing to us from the football stadium over here. We just witnessed an incredible sunset, right? Which I thought Colorado had the most beautiful sunsets. Nashville is competing with it tonight. And we've got Leagues Cup tomorrow night. Honestly, I made the travel squad this time. I'm buzzing. I'm ready for this. Let's do it.
So, you mentioned Ed Sheeran's just over in Nissan Stadium performing, but the Rapids, we're here for business. We are here to kick off our Leagues Cup campaign against Nashville SC at Geodis Park tomorrow, Sunday, July 23rd. And Drew, this is a match where it's pretty interesting leading up to it. The Rapids not in the best form in the league right now, obviously last in the West. Nashville, they're high up in the East, but they've lost the last 5 of the 6 matches. And more often than not, when Hani Mukhtar isn't firing, the team overall isn't firing. So what are you kind of looking for in this match?
Yeah, I don't think the league play does not matter right now. This is a new competition. This is a unique competition. This is an opportunity for the Rapids to go and leave their mark on this season, right? We'll deal with the regular season after Leagues Cup. Right now, they need to focus on Nashville. When Toluca comes next week, they'll focus on Toluca then. But it's all about Nashville tonight. And yes, when you play Nashville, you got to worry about Hani Mukhtar. He's a pivotal figure in their attack, right? But there's ways that the Rapids can get after Nashville as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But you stop Mukhtar. Yes, he's got some good pieces around him, but you stop him, you give yourself a good chance. And I think defensively, that will be the most important thing for the Rapids. But they need to be up for the occasion because this is awesome. This is such a cool competition. The anticipation it's finally over, right? Games have started. Messi has already left his mark. This is fantastic.
And as you mentioned, Drew, Messi did leave his mark last night. Of course, Leagues Cup kicked off last night, but the matchup everyone was looking forward to was Inter Miami against Cruz Azul, where Messi, coming on as a substitute in the second half, would go on to score very casually, but a spectacular free kick and gave Inter Miami the win. Drew, what do you make of Messi making his first appearance for Inter Miami here in the United States and just showing out like that to give Inter Miami the game winner against Cruz Azul?
I got goosebumps already just talking about it, right? I was watching with my boys. My boys are 7 and 5, right? They watched the World Cup. They watched Messi win the World Cup. They have become the biggest Messi fans ever. To be able to sit up last night with my boys and watch Messi do this, and I said before the free kick, I was like, he's scoring this. Like, this is set up. You couldn't have scripted it any better. Right. And for him to step up in an occasion like that and casually, like he's in his backyard with his kids taking free kicks, was so special, so cool to see. And I think just the MLS world was just on fire because of it. I know, like I said, it gave me goosebumps. My boys were going crazy. And what a way to kick off Leagues Cup.
Yeah, absolutely incredible way. Again, probably to see what is the greatest player of all time, really, if we're going to be honest.
Arguably.
Well, I guess Drew just disagrees in terms of who the greatest of all time is, but at least one of the greatest of all time to step foot here in the United States, featuring for an MLS team, and eventually once getting past the Leagues Cup will feature in MLS matches for at least another 2.5 years. So Lionel Messi obviously leaving his mark with Inter Miami in Leagues Cup. Drew, let's get to our game because, like I mentioned, we're here for business. We're in the Music City, but we are here for business against Nashville. And you did mention earlier, this is a tough test. I mean, we came here last year during league play when Nashville was still in the Western Conference. And it was a difficult match against Nashville where we did get a goal, where we drew the game at one point, but then Nashville came crashing back. And, of course, through Hani Mukhtar. Generally speaking with Nashville, kind of like, where do you see the threats coming from them? Hani Mukhtar is the most obvious piece. He's their talisman. He is the one that generates everything for them. But what are the other pieces that Nashville presents danger in against the Rapids?
Yeah, Mukhtar has some good pieces around him, we mentioned, and Teal Bunbury as his number 9, typical number 9, right? We don't know what the personnel is going to be, obviously. Yeah, there could be changes because this is a different competition. I don't think there should be. I don't know how Gary Smith, the leader of Nashville, will go about it. But if Mukhtar's on the field, he's their pivotal point, right? But he's got Teal Bunbury as the number 9 typically, and he's a big, strong, he's a handful. He attracts just enough attention that Mukhtar can do what he does, right? But Rando Leal, who a lot of times plays in midfield with Mukhtar, sees the field extremely well, very good passer. Dax McCarty sits in as their number 6, and he can spray the ball around nicely. And they've got pace on the wings. You got a Jacob Schaffelberg on the left side, a young Canadian that I'm extremely high on. Fafa Pical is a very athletic, very quick winger as well. And they're not sneaky. They're very good on set pieces as well, which the Rapids have been one of the best teams on set pieces for the past, I don't know, decade probably. So there could be a fun little competition there in set pieces. That both sides need to be good defensively, and both sides will look attacking set pieces as an opportunity to get on the board as well. But Nashville have some very good attacking pieces, and they're very good in both transition and build-up play as well. And again, anytime Mukhtar's in the middle of the field on the ball, you have to limit his space. You have to limit his touches. He is going to get his touches. And when he does, you either have to have somebody close to him or you have to have the guys around him picked up as well, because Nashville goes as he goes in their attack. And so he's the one that the Rapids really have to limit what he's able to do.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Hany Mukhtar is everything, quite frankly, for them. And I was just looking through his statistics where anytime he has not had a goal contribution, goal or assist, Nashville doesn't really get a result, not even a draw out of the match. So
he's the reigning MVP for a reason.
Yeah, and arguably he should have been the first year that he came in 2021, obviously losing to Carlos Gil, but a very tight race nonetheless. Hany Mukhtar, a fantastic player nonetheless that the Rapids will have to worry about. But let's flip it here, Drew. The Rapids, what can they do? Where are the weaknesses that they can exploit out of Nashville to try to get a result? And why not the win here in Nashville at Geodis Park?
Oh, I think 100% Rapids are coming in here believing that they can win this game. Again, forget about regular season form. And it's easy to say that when you're sitting towards the bottom of the table. This is a new competition. This is a Nashville team that is very good at home, even though the form's not been great. It's a great atmosphere. They have to take the crowd out of it, and you have to take the crowd out of it early. It's going to be a Sunday night. It's going to be a good night. I think their fans are going to be behind it. You play in their half early. I don't care what it looks like. The Rapids aren't a team that usually just goes direct, dumps it long, and plays field position. I wouldn't mind seeing that in the early stages of this game. Don't give Nashville anything to believe that their crowd's going to get into this and make this a long night for the Rapids. No, play in their half, play direct early, because we've got some pace up front as well. You look at, and again, we don't know the personnel yet. You look at Darren Yappy, you look at Kevin Cabral, Michael Barrios, there's some pace to burn up there. Calvin Harris, there's some pace to burn, right? And so you have to drag Nashville's very organized defensive unit out of their comfortable positions. They'll sit in front of their goal and just be comfortable. They got big center backs and a Walker Zimmerman, a Jack Mayer. Again, they could go with other players, but these are their main center backs. And so you got to get them moved around, and you do that by hitting with pace out on the wings, getting it into your central players, a Cole Bassett, a Connor Ronan, who can find these good passes, who can find these pacey players from the Rapids, and you got to finish your chances. And that's been the Achilles heel for the Rapids so far. They get into good positions, they get into the 18-yard box, and you're not finishing your chances. You have to punish Nashville tomorrow night when you get into their box. And set pieces, again, Rapids are always good on set pieces. Can you nick a set piece goal as well? If you can't tell, I'm buzzing about this. I think it's going to be a great matchup, a great test for the Rapids. One of the best teams at home, Nashville are. It's going to be a good test, but I think the Rapids are going about it the right way and ready to go in and believe that they can go in and win this first match, which will set up the foundation of them moving forward in this tournament.
Absolutely. And of course, Drew mentioned that attacking wise, we're looking for the goals. We still need those goals. Someone to finish those goals. A few weeks ago that we did announce the signing of Rafael Navajo from Palmeiras, still pending a few processes for him to officially join the club, and hopefully maybe we do see him against Toluca, who's to say, at home at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, but we'll have to wait and see. But until then, the Rapids will have to deal without Rafael. Drew, let's flip over to the defensive side for the Rapids. So you talked a lot about how Nashville are dangerous in various ways between the build-up and transition. So when a team is good on both of those, on both ways of attacking, defensively, how do you stand up? Because the Rapids, we've gotten good pieces, and Andreas Maxer, who came in the offseason, has helped stabilize the defense with your Danny Wilsons, with Lalas Abubakar, Moise Bombito, who stepped in there as well when needed to. And of course, what do the Rapids defensively need to do to try to stand up against a team that's good both in transition and build-up play?
Yeah, I think the Rapids organization behind the ball, when they're in possession of the ball and they've advanced into Nashville's half, you have to be organized behind the ball, right? Communicating where Mukhtar is at all times, where Bunbury might be, or their number 9, whoever plays there, right? Where their wingers are going to be. And also when you're in possession, you have to lose the ball in the right spots. And that is going forward, right? Your attacks need to end in goal kicks for Nashville, shots on goal, throw-ins deep in their own defensive territory, right? You can't give them transition. You can't give Mukhtar space to run at you. You don't want to be running back towards your own goal against a team like Nashville who have pace to burn themselves. have a player in Mukhtar who can find the pacey players, who can dribble with the ball himself and unbalance teams that way. So I think communication and organization behind the ball, and when they're in possession, of course, being tight, being compact, don't let them play between lines. It's going to be a tough test for sure, but I think the Rapids have some voices back there that can keep them tight, that can keep them organized, and are up for the occasion to do it.
Perfect. Well, there you have Drew's take. Really, in every sense, you kind of covered it all for us, Drew, right there. Offensively, defensively, overall, what the Rapids will need to do to get a result. Even a win, really, out of Geodis Park, as tough a place it is to play for any team. But absolutely, yeah, reason for optimism for the Rapids, as they are dangerous in creating chances. Just a matter of finishing them, but something's got to give at some point. So that's Drew's take on all that. This is what head coach Robin Fraser and defender Keegan Rosenberry had to say in a pre-match press conference on a match day -1.
Yeah, it's a couple of things. We haven't won enough games, period. So we need to win games. The fact that it's a new competition, something that's never been done before, there is, an air of excitement there. And for us, we're looking for ways to turn our season around. And this is certainly an opportunity going into a new competition, different structure. Just as I said, something we've never seen before. So the emphasis on our part is really to play well and to execute and to get results. We've played well in most of our games this year, but if we don't execute in the moments where we play well, then we arrive at where we are. And we know to get out of this, we need to play well, we need to execute, and this provides a platform for more games to do so.
I think there's kind of that unknown as to what the competition can truly hold. But, in terms of that, natural rivalry between the United States and Mexico, I think it's only going to accentuate that. And I think everybody's excited about that. So us included, obviously multiple MLS matchups, but everybody playing at least one Mexican team is something different. And, for us specifically, I think we could use a different competition and change of pace for the league. So it's a way to maybe, change our fate a little bit and get some momentum going back into the league. And as far as last night, hard to miss all of the action. Watched most of the Miami game waiting for Messis to sub on. So, I was glued, as I'm sure most people around the world were, watching the debut and just seeing. I think everybody was curious what fitness level he comes in at and how much he plays and what he looks like, and why was anybody questioning that? Because he comes in and looks like himself, and the magic that you see is himself. So it was fun to watch. Now fun to be a part of, and kicked off the tournament in a great way.
All right, Drew, we did cover it pretty extensively earlier, but let's narrow it down, down to basics in terms of what your keys to the match are going to be tomorrow night against Nashville in Geodis Park, a tough environment to play.
My keys are short and sweet. Number one, stop Mukhtar. We talked about him a little bit, or a lot of it,
yeah.
Right? Finish your chances. You get in the box, you have to be ruthless. You can't. You're on the road against Nashville, tough environment. You have to finish your chances. And number three is just that. Take the crowd out of it. Take the crowd out of it early with good play, playing in their half, right? A good hard tackle, an early goal, or even some good early chances, right? Let them know that you were here for 90 minutes. So take the crowd out of it right away.
Well, there you have it, Rapids fans. A take from a legend, just a Rapids legend, and that is Drew Moor. You're too modest. You're a Rapids legend. So there you have it from Drew Moor, guys, filling you in on what it's going to take for the Rapids to come to Geodis Park against Nashville SC. Again, a tough place to play, but not impossible to earn a result. So hopefully the Rapids can take advantage of what has been a recent skid for Nashville, but also being aware of the danger they present, particularly in the reigning MVP, MLS MVP, that is Hani Mukhtar. That'll do it from us here in Nashville. Drew, so I'm excited, man. I'm so genuinely excited for this tournament. I know you are as well.
What a place to start it, huh? Look
Exactly.
at this.
We had a beautiful sunset. Like I said, we're probably going to go catch the Ed Sheeran concert in a bit here. We're going to sneak in if we can, I think, right? Yeah, I think so.
They'll let us in.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I'll use
They love us here.
I'll just say Drew Moore. I'll mention his name and they'll let us in. So that's it from us here in Nashville, Rapids fans. Make sure you tune into the Nashville SC match against the Colorado Rapids tomorrow night, Sunday, July 23rd, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. That'll do it from us here in Nashville.